Yeah, and I mean, it seems as though like when you Google Kratom for the first time, it's in the news. It's sort of categorized as like bath salts or spice or whatever some of these new chemical drugs were a few years ago. Do you think that perception might you can get around that since it doesn't seem to reflect the reality of why people are using kratom?
So I think when we look at spice, at synthetic cannabinoids, or we look
Yeah.
at the pyrovalerones, the bath salts, um, I I have yet to find somebody who is using those for a medical condition.
Yeah.
I have not found anybody who is telling me now, granted, I haven't necessarily looked for them, but I haven't heard anybody use those to treat a really medical condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I don't think that you can. It is really like apples and oranges,
Yeah.
or not even fruit. It's more like a salad and a candy bar.
Yeah.
If you want to treat kratom as a salad and the other one as a candy bar.
Yeah.
Um, so no, I think what we see in media, at least in like kind of the clickbait media, is
Uh-huh.
um, they want to jump on a headline and draw folks in because it is sensationalized.
Yeah.
And we see that in all parts of our daily life. When it's a headline and it's sensational, it draws you in. But once you actually question it, when you think critically about it, and you do some research on your own and actually look in the scientific literature, you see the distinction. And I know that sometimes policy is influenced by public perception, but what I found astonishing about public perception when it comes to kratom is that um, I don't think that the public is necessarily all um, that that it's not really a one-sided issue for kratom in the public. I think that people realize that kratom is not like a bath salt, and it's not like the spice, or it's not like K2 spice, or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. I think people realize that,
Mhm.
and I've had like community engagements where I'm located, where I talk to folks in the community who wanted to know more about it. I had engagements with healthcare professionals who wanted to know more about it, and either they didn't know before about kratom, or they had heard about it, but they didn't really have an opinion yet.
Yeah.
But once we got into the topic, and we had like a Q&A going back and forth, it became very obvious that they understood relatively quickly what the applications and what its uses were. And like I said here, I'm not treating it as an innocuous, completely free of any adverse effects
Mhm.
substance, or it's not. So I tell people what I think about it very openly, and then let them make their own decisions. Well, thank you first, Brian,
Yeah.
and to all of your listeners. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that uh, that kratom remains available as a safe, as we had discussed, as a safe and high quality product. And I really encourage everybody who is currently using kratom to seek out vendors that actually label their products accordingly. That's really something that I would encourage everybody to do, um, uh, and ask their vendors to actually label them, to put a little bit of pressure on them to do that.